bear made a mess of this ground blind, tore it right up. I still don't think I'm going to attempt to climb up there for the purpose of this video. That plywood looks pretty rotten.
Today we're headed out to check on some tree stands and ground blinds to see how they fared over the winter. I'll show you some different setups that we have, and you can decide for yourself which style you like better. Tree stands may give a better vantage point and scent control, but also pose more safety hazards. We've all heard horror stories about people falling from trees. Ground blinds are generally easier to set up, and you can also bring a buddy and is safer for kids, but doesn't offer the same views. Our first stop today, I'm going to show you the first tree stand I ever made. Now this thing hasn't been used for at least a decade. After that, we moved to more modern day setups.
I used to always be able to find my way in here. These big, huge cedar trees. You can see them, and that was my guide into this tree stand. Right here is the first homemade tree stand I ever made. Haven't sat up there in a long time. It looks pretty shady. Looks like something crawled up there and ate the corner of that plywood off. I don't think I would trust that one now, but 2x3 steps. Feel still pretty solid. I still don't think I'm going to attempt to climb up there for the purpose of this video. That plywood looks pretty rotten. A little more of the bottom of what we overlooked here. Again, this homemade tree stand was right in the middle of a bed down area for deer. Provides a good view from up there. This spot's interesting here. So we've got a bit of a food plot there, a feeder. We had a tree stand set up for years over there, and lots of good game camera pictures, but when we were sitting up there, not much action. So we moved into a ground blind, which is behind us. I'll show it to you in a second. Once we moved there, action picked right up. So this is one of those situations where I think maybe that tree stand, the animals were able to spot us, and the ground blind provided better cover. But let's go have a look. This is the feeder. It's just a PCV pipe in a plastic barrel, and the bear took it down too. I think the same time it took the ground blind down. Check the game camera, which is right up here. This is the tree we had the tree stand set up in. Branches cut and stuff, and it just didn't produce, so we took it down. Set many hours in there. The bear made a mess of this ground blind, tore it right up. Yeah, so the ground blind's here. The bears tore it up last fall. I got to repair it, but as soon as we moved into this ground blind, the animals came in here, and we had some really nice deer and elk taken out of here. Plus, we've had opportunities at moose. We just never took any. So, in this case, moving to the ground blind was a good move for us. So, leaving this tree stand turned ground blind. It's very tough access in here. I had to really push the Argo to get as close as I could on this trip. Normally we walk in here, but because it's spring, I just drove as close as I could, kind of straight through the bush here. Now I'll see if I can get this thing out of here. another typical modern day tree stand. Fairly easy to set up to get off the ground and overlook this area, which is between bedding area and feeding areas. Why we set this one up, it's new since last fall, so we'll see how it produces. Again, we leave it here because nobody comes in here. It's pretty remote. Here's a view from up top of this one. Again, it's in the trees, so it overlooks quite a bit of area all around us. And again, it's the in-between area for where they bed down over there and then they come out to feed. So we feel there's lots of potential for this stand here. It's not terribly high off the ground. You still got to be careful though. I think it would still hurt if you fell off here. It's one of the things, the safety about these tree stands. You got to be careful.
We had audio difficulties here, but what I'm saying is I like these natural made ground blinds, often made from wood at the edge of slash piles or road systems or intersections. They provide great cover, and even in the fall, sometimes they produce good scent covering shrubs that you can lie in.
Yeah, the ground blind overlooks a nice three-way intersection here where the animals quite often travel through. So that's an easy, effective way to use natural landscape for hunting. This would be your typical tree stand in this area. It needs to be high so it can overlook a few of these trees here, and it's basically at an intersection with a salt lick there. A couple cut lines intersect here. It's got the advantage point from being up high, and it watches this cut line here both ways. There's a third corner over through the trees there it can also see. So he's got a good vantage point from being in that tree.
Those were a couple of setups that we've developed and used over the years. Both ground blinds and tree stands have been effective for us. Thanks for watching. See you next time.